the very dramatic countdown, which again, I'm going to figure out how to change the music, maybe make it a different background like Star Wars or Spaceballs, but I think I'm keeping a countdown. I think it's very dramatic. What do you think?
Yeah, I like the countdown, and then you never know. I'm like, when's it gonna flash?
Well, and I think in my mind I wanted the final countdown to the day, but I know that they won't let me. I know that somewhere in the YouTube realm, somebody will be like, no.
It makes me want to do. I used to mess with my family back home when we first started doing video calls and stuff. They'd be talking, and I'd just be like, and waiting for them to be, oh, did it freeze? Did it freeze? And I'm like, no, it's just. I almost want to do that. The countdown and beyond, and just be like frozen.
Have a nostalgia. Sorry, just had a nostalgia moment. My bad. Yeah. I like to kick it back and scare people. Gosh, that's so much fun. I'm glad that you have fun with people like that.
Yeah, if people don't know, like I like I'll get myself in trouble at some point, but I like the. It's just out of humor. It's not to be mean, but like the total like trolling, just messing with people.
And I have a rolling gallery for anyone that I do like screenshots with, or like if we have sessions or we talk often. If it's on my phone, if we do like Instagram or something like that, and it freezes, just know that I keep a gallery of any time it freezes. When a person freezes and they'll be like this, I line up and I match it. And then I screenshot where we're like interacting, or I make it an interaction and I screenshot it. So I have the worst pictures of people. It's so much fun. It actually, instead of making it a frustrating moment, I kind of look forward to it where I'm like, haha, I got you. It makes it a little bit more lighthearted. But anyway, that's the goal, right? Man, we've got Ruth. I've got Brittany, Lisa, Peggy. Gosh, you guys, thank you for joining us. I know a lot of you had said that you just really love having Matthew do the astrological check-in with me. I won't take it personally that it's so much better with Matthew joining us, Matthew. But I agree, it's better. Like a different perspective, right? It's like Gemini, two-faced.
Yeah. It's cool. And the other cool thing about this is that people that maybe aren't so familiar should know is it's different. This isn't like all just cookie cutter. There's like interpretation to this, and different people interpret things different ways. And so it's not like textbook that everybody that studies this is going to say the exact same thing under the exact same piece. But that's what makes it cool, is you get those different nuances.
And it starts to integrate itself. And so often, I think even in the paranormal and in the spiritual, we get that word, well, I'm a skeptic. Good. I want a skeptic. Or that something might be too general or generalized, being able to kind of further talk it through. I think between the two of us, you get even a more fine-tuned idea of what might be going on. So we'll keep it short and sweet. We'll try to anyways. But tonight, guys, we just want to do like this week, because there's a lot going on this week, and it feeds into a new moon, which any major moon phase is kind of a big deal. Right. So Mary, all of you guys joining us. So let's just delve right into it. So today is Tuesday, the 9th. So if you guys aren't following my blog, or aren't in the Gypsy tribe, or you're not someone who's an astrologer like Matt and following the daily things, then you may have no idea what's going on today, lately. But today, Matt, give us your thoughts on. So a big thing today is the moon in Aquarius, whatever that means, right? Conjunct Saturn and Aquarius. So the moon and Saturn, both in Aquarius. What should we be expecting in today? What did we see today? What does that mean?
So there's a lot of planets are in Aquarius this year. So there's a lot of Aquarian energy this year, as opposed to last year where there was a lot of Capricorn energy. So again, you think about 2020, Capricorn, Saturn, ruled by Saturn, rules, restrictions. 2020 was the year of rules and restrictions. And I said a couple weeks ago, when we're talking about Aquarius, you're going to see a lot of pushback against rules and pushback on things. And what did we see? What happens tomorrow? A bunch of red states are lifting their mask. There's no more restrictions on anything. You're going to see in different directions this kind of pushback. Aquarius is kind of like the rebel. You're going to see this pushback against the rules. And when conjunct, so what you do is when two things are conjunct, it's combining the energies. So it's almost like, it's a weird example, but I use like,
I think combine, conjunct.
My old college mascot before they changed it because they felt it was inappropriate was the centaur. So you take, a human and a horse and you combine it and you get a half human, half horse. That's kind of conjunct. You combine the energies. So you have moon, emotions, the inner self with Saturn, which is Saturn's is kind of like the killjoy of the party. Rules, restrictions, time, just kind of the dull one of these. So you combine that. So you have your emotions combined with rules, restrictions, combined with almost like the opposite energy of this whole Aquarius of I'm just going to do my own thing and butt against the rules and butt against the. So I would say in general, I find it interesting. Again, I kind of like these spur of the moments. I don't like prep ahead of time for these when you say these. That tomorrow is where a lot of these rules are getting unlifted, and you're having Moon conjunct with Saturn on this. So yeah, I think you're gonna have a lot of people that are gonna be like, whatever that rebellion thing is, there's gonna be a whole lot of like, hell yeah, this feels good. Yeah, we need to get rid of those restrictions. Yeah.
Yeah.
No more masks.
Yeah. Stick it to the man. At what cost? Risk and reward, right?
And it's not just the mask thing. I'm saying you'll see this in all different kind of stuff. This is just
sure.
There's going to be rebellious energy. I'm just going to say ahead of time, hi to everybody in the chat. A lot of folks weighing in and saying hi.
Children. So I think I've got young children.
Yeah.
And we kind of have this idea of, okay, what does this mean for rules, boundaries? Things are shifting. Our boss is going to have something to say. The schedule is going to change. The weather's going to move.
Mm-hmm.
The rules are going to change again. We're going to see it in every aspect. Will you see it in your life? Because the moon, I'm usually thinking unconscious. I'm thinking Freudian when the moon, that internal. Women are so manipulative. It's that, I'm fine. No, I'm fine. The moon, that's not what is really going on. The moon is that there's probably something you don't see or that you're not saying. In Aquarius. So I'm seeing one thing.
Moon energy, very feminine. It's a very kind of,
Yeah, it's feminine. But even though you're a man, you still are influenced by it and experience it and know how it works within you, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's just like, the sun's and masculine, but just like, the whole yin and yang thing, it makes up all of us. It's just, it is a little more of a inchangeable. Like it gets, I don't mean to be stereotypical on this or, anything on, but the moon changes. The moon changes phases. So the moon is kind of moody. It's kind of a, but one thing, and I just noticed when we do these, when we do these shows, I've realized that I kind of gravitate towards what to look for in other people during this time. So what I'm going to say is like this kind of rebellion and pushing against the rules is going to feel good and feel right. So just be ready for other people to really be like pushing back on stuff tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to feel good to them.
Yeah. Well, that's not what I heard. Snitches. There's going to be a lot of Aquarius. When I think of air, I think of fixed, stubborn, social, dramatic, and the rules. If you like it, then you should put a ring on it. I think of like all of these spaces combined. And so, okay, then as the psychic predictive person that we are playing this puzzle with all the pieces, we then take a snapshot of this week and go, okay, it starts off with rules being changed. Shake the box a little bit. And people going, I don't like that. I don't want to do that. Followed then by what we feel tomorrow, and we will feel it. You will feel it. All of us will feel it. The sun in Pisces combined with Neptune in Pisces. So speaking of feminine energy, water, Pisces, both the sun and Neptune. When you think of the sun and Neptune, because I know what first comes to my mind, but I'm going to let you go first. What comes to mind for you?
I'm going to just say one last piece of advice on the former one is tomorrow's not a day that I would want to unveil. If you're doing like a work thing, tomorrow's not the day to unveil some new policy or new, because everyone's going to feel emboldened and really good to like rebel against you. So just wait a day. Just, don't do it. Don't unveil a new rule tomorrow. Just wait a day. Sun and Neptune. So Pisces, I've said this before too. I like Pisces, but Pisces is one of the ones I struggle with describing. So it's kind of this, the last sign. So it's kind of things coming to completion. You have things kind of working against each other. There's a martyr energy. There's an artsy energy. There's I said before, it's water, but it dissolves, so it kind of dissolves boundaries and things. Ruled by Neptune, so you have Neptune in its home sign, so you have this whole dissolving. Neptune's kind of dreams can be deceptive. So you have this, again, conjunct, combining the energy. So you have where Moon's a little more on the female side, and the Sun's the more masculine, more kind of out there, what you see, a little more direct. Combining energies with dreams and delusions in this whole that was weird, we just flashed there. Dissolving
solar flash, solar flash.
So it can be this can be a very deceptive delusion. And I'm just going to kind of shotgun a bunch of different things here, and then we can kind of piece it together. Fall on your sword. So people may be willing to be, very sacrificial in this standpoint. I'm going to, throw myself on my sword for my cause, kind of thing. Sacrifice for others, but it could be misguided. That's where the Neptune piece comes in. So again, it's all in alignment. It's all in conjunct, so it's going to feel right. But Pisces and Neptune can be. Delusional and deceptive aren't the right. I'm trying to struggle to have the right word, because it's not intentionally to throw you off, and it's not like delusional, like I said. But you can misread things. Things aren't what they seem. Fog. That's a good kind of fog of war. Very foggy. You could misjudge things, but it's going to feel right.
I think about water on water. So as a social worker, when I think of Neptune with Pisces, I think water on water. So I think King Triton. I think this space of, you have Poseidon, you have Ursula. Back when I lived in the castle, oh, the parties. This kind of things way different. Things move different. If you're doing your workout with sandbags on your feet and water, your muscle memory is going to know things differently. I think of photographing things in water when you want to look weightless. It's an easy way to manipulate light, but it's like a whole nother world, the abyss, and the fact that, gosh, think of all the ocean we've not explored. There are conspiracies that there's a whole world beneath the ocean, beneath the world, within our world. What? Yeah, water. It's a whole different universe. And that you could, like The Abyss, the old movie, The Abyss, it dates me a little bit, but that you might not come back.
There's like an escapist, but almost like an introspective escapist piece to the whole Pisces energy too.
Yeah, like an Alice in Wonderland, going down the rabbit hole and just things being very different. Like Waterworld, like a hybrid space. It's very delusional. I will use delusion in a mental health space. This is usually where self-medicating people fall victim to themselves. Eek! I hate that. I really do. I don't like it at all. But this is a serious thing, and it's something that is one of those. If you know someone in your life where you yourself are depressed and kind of one of those self-destructive people, Wednesday, tomorrow, as the sun, everything we see, center of our universe, you are my sunshine, and Neptune, crazy planet, way back there, that when it shifts, it means delusions and dreams, making you question reality. Are we in a doppelganger matrix? Everyone questioning everything subconsciously, being in wishy-washy waterland. Right after all the rules change.
So I'm just going to call it again. This is another one where I feel like I say this every week. We do this. Wait an extra day before doing it, because this is also going to be a thing where it's going to be like, oh, I think they are like stealing from me, or oh, I think they are, but it could just be foggy. Just wait another day and see if it still looks and sounds good to you on Thursday, because Wednesday your feelings going to be really distorted, but it's going to feel right. It's going to feel so, you are so convinced wait a day.
Tomorrow's not the day. If you're wondering, this week, the best time to make a good decision, it's going to be on or after the 13th, on or after Saturday, ideally. Because why? Well, we have today, tomorrow, this Wednesday, middle of the week, Pisces, delusional space. Okay, Thursday, Friday. Thursday, the moon, just like before, our subconscious thoughts. The moon with the sun goes into Pisces. Oh, shoot. But it squares off with Mars in Gemini. So another thing falling into yin, into water, but another planet moving into air with Aquarius and Gemini. So what do you think when you hear moon in Pisces squaring off with Mars in Gemini? Oh.
So Mars and Gemini. So this is action. So Mars is kind of more of your, again, this is all stereotypical, but it's not, you think more like male energy. So, aggression, move, drive, not necessarily all bad. You're, like aggressive, meaning like mean or anything. It's just drive. In airspace, so Gemini's airspace of communication. So lots of thought. People are going to want to talk about things they want to do, and then Gemini likes that whole verbal hash out. Again, kind of the twins, so kind of vacillating. So I think we talked about this last week too. That it's that energy of which path do I take? Which path do I take? Which path do I take? Combined with your emotional state being in this delusional, introspective, dissolving boundaries, dissolve. So emotionally, again, what might feel like the right thing to do as you're hashing stuff out one way or the other, your risk of making a wrong call is going to be a lot higher while this energy is going on. So I feel like I'm going to say this every week, but wait till this passes before you make your decision.
Wait until this passes and just consider not even just that you might be vacillating inside while the outside is an air tornado, cold front, hot front, rules changing, people very unsure. So you think to yourself, man, right now things feel very uncertain for everyone. They feel uncertain and they are uncertain. So even though I'm really passionate about this idea, I want to get engaged, I want to start a new project, I want to go live in my van or whatever. Is this going to be something I want to couple with, associate with? Is the timing ideal for doing this?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's not, just because everyone else out there that, oh yeah, I'll get to that engine, I'll be able to renovate your van, oh sure, I'll be able to ordain your wedding. People aren't really sure. Right now, a lot of people looking for psychic, should I buy this business? Should I sell that? Should I do this? If you don't feel certain about it, nothing I say is going to help you. Because right now, the feelings of Pisces fighting off with Gemini and Aquarius, you think air and water, that's like a hurricane. It's just not an ideal space to be doing any fishing, swimming, vacationing. Yeah. It's not going to work. And that's okay. It's not your fault. It's not my fault. It just may not be the best time. So when we say wait a little bit. Wait until you get a little bit more information.
I feel this. I had all kinds of weird electronic stuff happen on my end, so I apologize if I interrupted you there.
No, you didn't.
That was weird.
Didn't.
That was
What's
weird.
Going on?
It was weird. And the whole screen was doing weird stuff. So what I was going to say on the water, and I only feel this for Pisces. I don't feel this for Cancer energy or Scorpio energy. And I know I say this a lot, but the whole water is a solvent and dissolving boundaries. Pisces energy, it's the dissolving or making boundaries mushy. So it's just, and it may be for a good reason, but always kind of make sure you really want to cross that boundary or not have that boundary anymore.
Right.
Before you jump.
Right. Saturn, Aquarius, boundaries in air. What's your name? This is it's a boundary thing. and we're not sure what you said or what the kickback is going to be. And he said, she said, and the paranormal permission and legalities, consent. These things, even in a magical space, are really important. So if everything is an air, as a witch in alchemy, we go, whoa, hold up, wait a minute. You're either going to have to repeat yourself. You're going to have to be loud. It's going to be misconstrued as angry. You're going to be seen as a bitch. Like you had said earlier, there's going to be a lot of martyrdom. You know what? At this point, I don't care. Take me, hurricane. Um, that will be happening. Some of that people just, I did it today. Jump into the chaos. Jump in. If you don't take the time to think about it, you have to go full throttle and you'll be, at the mercy of air. We have a lot of really cool people joining us, by the way. So thank you, Mary, David Potter, some really cool Masons, Sean, Chet, really cool people from all over the realm in the Matrix. Midnight Rider, Midnight Train to Georgia. I don't know where you're calling from. He's or she's, they have said, do we do call-ins? And you know what? We don't, because we don't have to, because this is for you if you're listening. It's synchronicity, and this is astrology for everybody. So we're doing kind of the yang astrology, and however it applies to you would be your birth chart, your own personal space, and how you respond to those elements. If you don't know, you can get a reading. How do I point that way? Wait, that.
Yeah, I get it totally messed up still on the camera. Yeah, left, right, right,
that
left.
way. You can get a reading from Matthew. If you private message him, you can find him. So really, really cool. Jason from Minneapolis, just moved from Minneapolis. Midnight from Texas. Very, very cool. So from all over. Very, very cool. So let's get into this. Let's get into the 12th. Let's get into the 13th, when we can start feeling better about information coming our way. The moon will be in Pisces. But something else joins Pisces, which means we're going to be terribly emotional. If you have a woman in your life or a lot of women in your life and their menstrual period is synced to the new moon, it's usually the new moon or the full moon, guys. So pay attention. Or women, if you're not aware of that. The 12th is going to be when this kind of starts. The Venus in Pisces, moon in Pisces, all of this stuff tipping into Pisces. What do you think of when you think of the moon and Venus in Pisces?
So this is again. So Venus, obviously, romance, can also be business and material stuff. That's kind of it doesn't get as much of a rap for that, but it's also that energy as well. So kind of two fronts here, and then the moon. So emotions. So I mean, just think about moon, emotion, romance. What we mentioned before again, delusion, foggy, dissolving boundaries, introspection, martyrdom,
bad decisions, desperation, that scene in Wedding Crashers when they're doing funeral crashes, because
Thursday and Friday, there's going to be some really bad, like, romantic decisions made. I'm sorry. It's going to be.
I don't know. Will there? I don't know. I love you. Venus. We have even someone asking about love life. If you are wavering in Venus, if you have someone dangling the fickle carrot, if you will, Thursday and Friday, it's going to be even worse. There's going to be a lot of cat and mouse. There's going to be a lot of misguided affection. For those of you married looking to spice up your marriage, a great time to play games if you have good communication. If you don't have good communication, or you're paranoid about your partner, things could go awry really fast, because air, what you hear, what you know, how do you know what you know? If you're Christian, Archangel Raphael. This is a space where stuff goes sour real fast. It can either be a joke or oh my gosh, you just hit me. No, I didn't. I was just kidding. No, you just hit me. That's it. That's it. I've said if you ever hit. What? Whoa.
This can be the romantic hookup where on one side is like, I've seen all the signs, this is the one, and the other one is just on that martyrdom space. This person's been bugging me for so long, I'm just going to go ahead and give in and get it over with and then move on. It's like two extremes. And so, yeah, there can be just a lot of miscommunication.
Hopefully, if you have good communication or patience, tolerance, these sorts of things, it can actually work for you. The idea is, again, to be aware, be prepared. to not be taking these things personally, but to be like, oh, so people are naturally going to default to feeling a little bit more flirty, romantic, dreamy. That if you go, yeah, no, we should get coffee sometime.
Yeah.
And that person
Good
might
point.
have a crush on you.
Good point.
Be careful, because you're going to want to connect and feel flirty and sensual and attractive. Might even be feeling yourself, put some extra effort into your looks. And if someone else is dreamy, coming out of Neptune, coming out of delusion, going through a lot of people's medications, a lot of people's drugs aren't working for them lately. Street drugs, recreational drugs, coffee drugs, food drugs, adrenaline drugs. Maybe they like to be, pushed around. And now they're going to be dealing with choking and asphyxiation, and something goes awry. Man, I work in forensic psychology, so things get weird real fast. And this is the kind of, when someone's like, how does this happen? A moon in Pisces, a Venus in Pisces, a sun in Pisces, everything in Pisces with everything else in Aquarius. That's how. Right now.
Yeah, because Aquarius is, for anyone to say, Aquarius is kind of that rebel, like, the purple mohawk energy as well. So you got that kind of rebellious with the kind of, so yeah, people are going to do, I'm going to go in a really odd spot, but this is like, people are going to like, I've never skydived before, but I'm going to do it today, kind of deal. And the parachute doesn't open. It's just, yeah.
Some person on Craigslist said that they want $1 million and we're going to just answer the first 20 people. And I think that this is the day I'm going to do it. Maybe not the best circumstance to do said things. I don't know. I'm just feeling it. Are you sure I'm saying something to you that is a rational thing that you should think about? Nope. Fuck it. Okay.
Yes, to Mary Singh in the chat, yes, this is not the time to like accept the lunch invitation if you think the person is remotely interested and you're not.
Yeah, if they're remotely interested and you are not, don't go fishing. If you are interested, this is a great time to go fishing. If you're weird like me, this is a great time. I can actually operate in this space really well because it's really chaotic. And so if things are naturally chaotic and things are going crazy everywhere, it's not associated with me. It's associated with the times. So I actually feel less weird in these spaces. But people that require routine, organized, that are losing their stuff, they're losing their stuff. I'm used to everything falling apart. So to me, it's like,
I'll share. We talked about this before. I have no water, and I think it was Ryder that was asking about like it depends on more than just when you're born. It's like all the planets, where all the planets are in your chart to get. But like my chart doesn't have any water in it, and so, and again, out of all the water signs, when there's a lot in Pisces, like I feel it and I don't like it, and so it has kind of a negative effect on me. I get kind of I've just noticed this trend since I started following this stuff. I get more down and depressed when there's a lot of Pisces energy going on out there.
I notice when there's a lot of water, I feel like I need to tread water. I feel like people come to me with their problems more, people cry more. I become more dissociated because my boundaries get thicker because I don't want to cry with them. So I start walling things off as the water starts lifting. And it's almost like Tetris. I'm such a so 90s in that space where it's like, and it's one of those like, I feel a certain panic. So if I don't let it out slowly in some way by talking through it, venting it out, catharsis, breathing, singing, air magic to let air out, then I will start to cry because I get so angry that I want to freak out. It's really weird and inappropriate, but that's what I've learned about me. And knowing that it's Pisces, water, water, water. We have the sun in Pisces, the moon in Pisces. Then on the 12th, Venus in Pisces. Woot! Then on the 12th, the new moon in Pisces. Okay, that's a lot. Joining with Neptune. in Pisces. So Neptune, Venus conjunct each other with a new moon in Pisces. How do you feel about that?
Neptune Venus conjunct. That's what so again, combining energy. So again, this is just kind of, man. I feel like I'm like we're the bearers of bad news this week.
No.
So again, you're combining romance, or it can be business things too. But generally romance,
attraction,
with Neptune, delusion, attraction, with Neptune and delusion in the sign that is all watery, emotional, introspective, dissolving boundaries, and can misread and misjudge things. So again, this is just romantically a potential shit show of just misreading and miscalculating, and again, not the time to be jumping in and making a big decision, because you could misread the other person, you could be misreading the situation yourself. Just a lot of opportunity for just misreading and misjudging things.
Because I think of, again, that
That's
water.
This is a foggy week into a foggy weekend.
I love how you, the masculine man and yang, you say foggy because you're thinking ahead, you're preparing, and to you it's water and air. It's all the Pisces in air. To me, as the female, I think about being in it, submerged in it, like coming up out of the water, like that Wild Things DVD cover or Cat's Eye, where you don't know what's under the water. You don't know when I'm coming up for air. Blah, 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 blah. You don't know what these bubbles are coming from. It's seductive. It's scary. It's creepy. It's unsafe. It's uncertain. It's air and water, and you are seeing water and air. Same thing.
Yeah.
If you stay in the yin space, you're going to probably be quite emotional, be emotionally eating, wanting to watch emotional movies, stay in and have a pint of ice cream with me because it's the new moon. You might also feel like, you know what, I can't do this anymore. Emotionally, I'm feeling like I can't do this, so I need to do the opposite of this. Air and water are like desperation, a coming up, a coming out of one world to the other. I think of darn Ariel. It's like you're having to really exchange your voice in air for how you function in a whole nother world.
Mm-hmm.
There's very important symbolism in that movie, right? A woman who's known for her voice has to trade it to be on land. That's what we're going through right now with all of this, I think. I just think it's interesting that you see it as fog and I see it as water.
Yeah. I guess if I had to use your analogy in the water, I would see it as you're in like murky water, then that you don't know what's in there with you.
Right, like Anaconda with Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah. So you don't know what's in that. Or I would look at it as fog of what you're seeing in the fog might not be. I don't know, I'm thinking of this meme that's out lately where it's like a horse in the fog and it looks like Batman. Is it Batman? Yeah. No, it's a horse. It's that kind of thing that you can really misjudge and misread things because your clarity is not there.
Well, and like the more like your clarity. Yeah. Well, it's kind of funny. My oldest son is named Stellan. In the Viking language, a stellan is that space when you are unable to see land and unable to use a sunstone. And so it's uncertain. And it's hopeful because you have a feeling you may be near land, but it's also terribly uncertain because that's a really good spot to die. A stellan, peaceful uncertainty. I think there's something to be said about just being brave, being courageous, how to navigate, listening, echoes, knowing how to use air magic, so important. Tone, pacing, words, how to adjust yourself, how to have more control and patience, when to speak, timing. So then the end of the weekend is going to end with the moon coming out of Pisces. The first waxing phases of the moon as it starts to build in all of our new projects that we are launching. Moon in Aries, sextile, Saturn in Aquarius.
All right, so Aries, it's funny, whenever these things change signs, if you ever notice, folks out there, like the signs next generally are like these really big shifts. So then Aries, the first sign, so it's kind of like the kind of juvenile. So I always think of like the impulsive teen, and fire energy, male energy. So I think of like the impulsive teen in the car, like doing donuts, down the road, and you're like, what are you doing? You're going to kill somebody. It's impulsive, it's driven, it's going to act. So whereas Pisces is very introspective and kind of seeing, Aries is we're going, we're just going to do it. So now you got emotional energy channeled towards action. Sextile, I view sextile like as removing obstacles, so it creates opportunities for. So then we have Saturn, which is rules and restrictions in Aquarius, the rebel. So I kind of view this as we're going to make new rules and restrictions, but we're going to make brand new rules and restrictions that kind of tear everything down, and we're going to create something new. So a lot of, I would say lots of kind of like rebellious energy. We're going to like rewrite the rules is the theme for that energy. That's my view.
This might date me, and I know you guys watching, you probably get sick of my movie analogies, but this is how I visualize things, and most people are predominantly visual. Thank you, social media. If you have seen Fast Times at Ridgemont High, where the two boys, they take out the car, they take out Big Brother's car, they go get stoned, they take out the black car, and they crash it. Oh shit, my brother's gonna kill me. My brother's gonna kill me. My brother's gonna kill you. He's gonna kill us. He's gonna kill us both. And they start freaking out. It's a really funny scene. And he goes, no, man, I got you covered. I got you covered. And the next morning it flashes too. They've parked it out in the front of the car, in front of the school. And they've spray painted like, the Hawks are going to hell. We're going to beat you on Friday. And they framed the opposing high school rival team to gear up, and you see like the steam coming out of the guy's ear, and then it pans to the montage of the football scene of him just smashing, smash, and they're like winking at each other, ha ha ha. Okay, totally this space of you're feeling one way, you're feeling like, you know what, I can't even. We're going to go out. We're going to make poor decisions. Pisces, delusion. We're going to go drink a lot or smoke a lot or medicate ourselves. And you know what? Then we're going to not pay attention to the rules. We're going to break them all because screw the rules. We're going to wreck the car. We're going to take it without permission. We're going to break into the market. Destruction. And then we're going to lie about it. But not only are we going to lie about these bad things, it's going to be fine. We're going to channel it in a way that is productive, that maybe this works out for everyone. I mean, we can appreciate it. It's funny if it's not our car, not our market. We don't know you. It's fine if it's just the movie you watch.
Framed. Yeah.
Not the person being framed.
Quarterback on the other team that got framed and got like pummeled.
Don't want to have to be the snitch. Don't want to have to hold the lie. Just let me be the person taking the pictures for the yearbook for the winning team on Friday. That's it. Right? And this is why the information we're sharing with you is when something happens and you're like, oh my God. This is what Matt and Sarah were talking about. Everyone else is going through this as well. If I take a moment and just watch everyone else have their breakdown, I will feel better and I won't ruin my shit. Let me go do that for a second and go forth and watch people's lives crumble. We're not saying it's a bad thing. We're just saying choose. Be better. That's really the only choice. That's all I'm ever saying. That's all I'm saying to anybody. This weekend, just do better. But
Monday may be a great day to implement that new rule.
Great.
Whereas like we can do it Wednesday, everybody's going to be like all beat up and bloodied from whatever happens this weekend, and they'll have energy to, let's change this. So Monday, roll out your new rule. Don't do it this week.
Don't do it. And that's one of those I keep kind of dangling that, I'm going to start this podcast. I'm going to do this opportunity. I'm really going to take these opportunities, but I kind of keep waiting for the time. I do want to share with you guys who follow along and listen that, yes, I'm trying to be patient and tolerant, but how long must we wait to make these big decisions or for information to come our way? Timing is a lot. Context is a lot. And there is so much out of your control that, kind of much like my children tonight, they asked why we don't have Alexa in our house, because we don't. And I said, I just don't want that much control in the house. And they're like, what do you mean? Because you can control the temperature and control this. I said, I don't really feel like I'm the one controlling that. Just because I'm hollering it out, I'm not the one pushing the button. I kind of like to be the one still pushing the button. Call me lazy. Call me a control freak. It's just a different perspective. Just ever so slightly, I want to let other people be reactionary. I think that's wisdom, right? That's what I keep telling myself. Is that true?
Yeah. It is, although it's funny because I'm very opposite in that for all my sets, I'm going to contradict myself. For my advice on these shows we've done, telling everybody, wait. I'm very much an experimentalist, and I can adapt really fast, so I rely on that. So I jump and move in, and then if it changes, it might be foggy, and I think that thing's Batman. I'll run up in one astrograph, and I realize that it's a tiger or something. I'll change my strategy and run away or something. I just,
right.
But I can move really fast, and so I just adapt.
Well, and I love adaptation. I love being able to change and evolve. And I'm also very competitive. So for me, sometimes that devil loves idle hands. I find that my worst depression or my worst anxieties are when I am idle. So astrology helps me to look at things and go, okay, if I want to make a decision and I'm uncertain in my own thoughts and feelings, give me some certainty in the outside realm. A lot of people that are more spiritual or religious might pray to a god or deity or just put out a prayer of faith. I can do that and do that as well. But I also like to, before I go on vacation, look at the weather. Before I fly, take a gander at the cold fronts. I like to just prepare as best I can. It helps me feel better. And astrology is a science.
Yeah, I wanted to add real quick here, a little bit of a sidebar, without getting too detailed in this, but if you have in your chart a lot of Leo or a lot of Gemini energy, with all this energy in Pisces, those are the ones that are at 90 degrees. Those are the ones that are kind of squared to them. So it's like the most, I don't want to say opposite, but the most in conflict. So if you have a lot of energy in those spaces, you may have really hard time with all this stuff in Pisces. So just be aware of that.
Leo and what?
Gemini.
Oh.
Yang, the mutable yang signs would be the ones that are square. So if you have a lot, not just saying your sun sign, but if you have a lot of energy that's Leo or Gemini, you might have a little bit of a harder time with all this Pisces energy going on right now.
And of course, I'm looking at that. If anybody is joining us and they're a musician, I see them in the keys, do, re, mi, fa, dun, 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 dun. And so you have the cardinals, the middles, the mutables. And so down here you have Pisces, and then a half step, another half step is Gemini, Leo. So it's almost like doing C, D, and B sharp. It's not a good sound. So it's not going to communicate well. It's not going to mesh well. It's not going to blend well. And sometimes I'm thinking of it that way too, because I know that some people are auditory. Some people hear music and see colors. I think in some ways I am like that, because when I hear music, I can see a music video. I can do poetry if I have a good soundtrack. So I can kind of get with that. And so I think if I want to deduce how it sounds, not just how it looks or feels, it's going to be a half step and another half step. So it's going to kind of be weird. It's going to look, sound, feel weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wish I had a keyboard. I don't know how to play piano though. I mean, I kind of do, but I don't. Anyway.
You being a Virgo, Virgo, that's the opposite. So that's not necessarily a bad thing, but there's a little bit of tension. So all that Pisces energy could create, like, it's almost like the opposite attract thing of, you might feel pulls in direction that are tense, but it's not a bad thing necessarily. It's just a tension thing.
Right. Right. Because that's the do, re, mi, fa, do, fa, do, fa. It's like a whole step. It's an opposite, but it's still going to go in the same direction. Pisces is still mutable like Virgo. Anyway, that's my brain working. Anyway, guys.
I didn't want to derail this, but I felt like to call that out, that the ones that are at 90 degrees with all this stuff in Pisces, this could be a tough couple of days for Leo
for a lot of people. For a lot of people. So, as usual, I'm so thankful that we do this. So we are going to try and do this, every Tuesday, maybe more if you guys need it. But if you guys want a personal reading, you can always come to me for a personal psychic reading, and you can absolutely go to Matthew, get an astrological reading, get a birth chart, get any of those questions. He also does amazing tarot readings with astrology. I love that perspective, and I just like hearing where your brain takes it because you are more in depth with it, and just to kind of hear where there's guidance. There's guidance. It's going to be emotional. It's going to be crazy dreams. It's going to be exhausting for our energy levels, but it can be useful. Don't take it personally.
Yeah.
Mary says, just keeping my mouth shut.
Got it. It's kind of a lay low these couple days.
It's a soup kind of weekend. We're expecting to get some snow here in Minnesota. I'm going to have some chocolate croissants and coffee, do some reading and writing and stay in and just watch with my popcorn. I'm not going to do a whole lot. I'm going to take in information and just be ready to get focused, foot on the ground come Sunday, right after that new moon, so that projects hit the ground with an Aries feel, but one that I've prepared for without emotion. So I'm not going to be feeling desperate or anything like that. I'll be feeling nothing but excitement and certainty in a certain way. Hopefully you guys will join me in that way. Let us know what you're brewing. Let us know what you're working up. Let us know what Matt can give you a reading on and give you some insight into how it'll unfold for the astrological year ahead. Woo! And of course, if you're part of the Gypsy tribe, you're going to get a day-to-day breakdown. I'm finishing that up today. Matthew helped me with that. So I'm going to finish it and be emailing it out. But that's it. And we'll see everybody next week. Right, Matt? As long as we're both here?
Yep. Absolutely.
All right.
Have a great week, everybody.
Doesn't face us this weekend, we'll be here next week.
Well, we dodged the asteroid a couple days ago, so we should all be good.
Hey, there's water treatment centers going south in Texas. There's solar flares in the Arctic. There's volcanoes everywhere. Who knows? Who knows? But it'll probably just be you and I and all of us here next week doing the same thing, talking about how to avoid it, and we will survive. Let me cue the cake version. Okay? Anyway, good night, guys. We'll see you later.
Good night. Take care.